Hi, this is Trey Passer, and this is a video response to ANDREWBALLINA'S um, top, I guess top five. I don't know if he did top five. I'm going to say top five. I think he did a bit more in this video. His top movies of 2011. Okay, and this is my video response. I told him I saw his video and I told him I would make a video response, and I'm doing that right now. Okay, I'm going to pick 5 movies as for my top choices of 2011. Now, the first movie I'm going to do, I don't have it in hand. It's a movie got limited release, and I don't think it's got that wide a distribution anyway, because I don't think it's in the theaters right now. But it's a movie called The Descendants. Now, on my channel, I did a review of this movie when it came out a few weeks ago, and I absolutely love this movie. This movie stars George Clooney, and it's basically a story about a guy who lives in Hawaii, and who has 2 daughters, and he's married, and he's a lawyer, and he finds out after his wife has an accident, and she's put into a coma. I guess you could say a motorboat accident. She's water skiing, and she has a motorboat accident, and she's put into a coma. And he finds out, later that she was having an affair on him, and it's basically a story about him reconciling that, that fact that his wife is dying, and he's estranged from his daughters, especially his older daughter. He has 2 daughters, older teen daughter and a younger preteen daughter. Okay, and it's basically about their relationship. And I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Like I said in my review, George Clooney, like I said, is one of my favorite actors. But in this movie, I think he stretches a lot, and he out of his comfort zone. You normally see George Clooney's this confident, suave guy in most of the movies that he plays, but this movie, to me, he's out of its element, and he does a fantastic job. And I seriously think this movie's going to get nominated for 2 things: for Best Picture, and also for Best Actor for George Clooney. I don't think he'll win, because I don't think Academy will give him an Academy Award straight out of the bat from his first time being nominated. But to me, he truly deserved the nomination, because he was truly outstanding in this movie, and this is an absolutely wonderful movie. And hopefully when he gets nominated, and this movie gets nominated for Best Picture, they'll put the movie back out in wider release so everybody can see it. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. Okay, so that's one of my movies. Okay, I'm not doing this in order, although I think I am going to do it not in the order that I like the movies, but just that's the movie I'm doing first. But I'm going to save the movie that I love the most this year for last. Okay, the next movie in my list would be X-Men First Class. Okay, there it is. There's James McAvoy, and there's Michael Fassbender right there. This movie, I was excited for this when it came out. I'm one of the people that hated X3. I absolutely hate it. My favorite X-Men, just as an aside, is Cyclops, and I hated the way they treated him in the movies. But X-Men, and the fact that they killed him off so early in the movie, really even pissed me off even more. But the movie was a cluster, F to me. Okay, I absolutely hated X3. Okay, but anyway, and then the Wolverine movie came out, which kind of underwhelmed me. I mean, I like the movie and I have it on Blu-ray, but it wasn't, as good as it could be. And I'm hoping that when they do the next movie, Wolverine, I think it's supposed to be in Japan, it'll be like the comic book, and it'll be great. And I think Hugh Jackman is up to the challenge, but that's another side. But anyway, back to X-Men First Class. This movie far exceeded my expectations. Like I said, Michael Fassbender was absolutely excellent as a young Magneto. I mean, he made the movie for me. His performance alone was just absolutely worth the price of the ticket. Him and James McAvoy and the other young actors acquitted themselves quite well in this movie. And this movie was excellently written and excellently directed. And Kevin Bacon made a great villain. And I absolutely love this movie. And I assume they're going to be making a sequel to this, because this movie was absolutely fantastic. So that's another one of my top movies of 2011. Okay. Now, the next movie I saw on my list is called The Help. Okay. Now, a personal side, sometimes I have a hard time watching movies where blacks get, or African Americans get mistreated. Sometimes I have a hard time with, same like civil rights movies and stuff like that. I have a hard time watching them because I know what's going to happen. What pretty much is going to happen. Now, this movie was based on a book that I never read, but it's supposed to be a bestseller. And like I said, my expectations weren't that great for it, but I heard great things about it. And the actresses that's in the movie, said great things about it. Of course, they're going to say that's in the movie, but I heard great things about this movie, and I decided to take a chance and buy it and watch it, and I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. This movie, I think, is probably going to get nominated for Best Picture, one of the Best Picture, and probably Viola Davis and Octavia Spencer. I think that's those two actresses right there, and even Bryce Dallas Howard, and there's Emma Stone right there. They were all great in this movie, but specifically the two African American women, you know, like I said, Viola Davis and Octavia Spencer. They were absolutely fantastic in this movie, and it's basically about the help about the maids and what they went through back in the 50s. I guess this would be back in the 50s and stuff. You know, helping, you know, raising white children and stuff, and all their trials and tribulations and what they had to go through. And this movie was thoroughly enjoyable. I thoroughly enjoyed all the performances, and even Bryce Dallas Howard, who played absolutely hateful character, was absolutely great in this movie. And I would highly recommend this movie for anybody to pick it up and watch it, because it's a fantastic movie, and I think it's going to be nominated for Best Picture, one of the Best Picture candidates this year. And now my next movie is Sucker Punch, okay, by one of my favorite directors, Zack Snyder. This movie got a bad rap. I think it came back out in March, and it didn't do that well at the box office. But I don't understand why. To me, this movie was just fantastic. First of all, let me just say I'm a big fan of Zack Snyder, and so, you know, I like those movies. 300, he's going to do the Superman reboot. He did, I think, the remake of Dawn of the Dead. He's just a great director. But visually and story-wise and action-wise, this movie to me was just fantastic. And, you know, it had 5 actresses in the movie, and I'm sorry, I don't want to. And Emily Browning, that's her name, Emily Browning, was just fantastic in this movie. And it's basically about a girl that gets put into a mental hospital after accidentally killing her sister by her evil stepfather. And while she's in the mental hospital, she creates this fantasy world to escape from the horrible things that are happening. And I think she's about to get a lobotomy, and so she escapes into the fantasy world as a way to cope with it. And to me, this movie just was fantastic. I know a lot of people hate on this movie, but I don't understand why. To me, this is just one of the visually, and this is a movie that you turn off the lights, you watch it on your big screen TV, and just thoroughly enjoy it. It was a fantastic movie. And a special mention to Jenna Malone, who was one of the girls in this movie. I thought she was fantastic in this movie also. Very, you know, as Rocket. I think that was her name, Rocket. But anyway, and I also want to mention of a fellow YouTuber. His name is Anna Teaser, an 80s T Slasher. That's his name. His real name's Alex. He was one of the first guys that subbed to me on YouTube, and he did like an 8-part series on the breakdown of Sucker Punch. He did an 8-part series where he takes the critics' reviews, the critics' critiques about the movies, everybody else, what they were saying, feminists were saying that it was a movie that exploited women, and he did a wonderful 8-part series on this movie, Sucker Punch, which was absolutely fantastic, beyond repair. I favored it automatically, and it's just, to me, it's one of these great videos. How he put this together, you know, I don't know, he probably took him forever to put it together, but it's absolutely one of these fantastic videos, that an 8-part series about the Sucker Punch and what he thought about it and what the critics thought about it, and he refuted like every point that critics were saying they were bad about the movie. But anyway, I'll put a link to his channel, so just in case you want to check out the 8-part series that he did on Sucker Punch, which was absolutely fantastic, and I just wanted to give him credit for that, and so that everybody could know, you know, see it and judge for themselves, and why I and he thought that Sucker Punch was just a fantastic movie. Now, my movie of the year to me would be this movie, Rise of the Planet of the Apes. This movie, going in, you know, I saw the trailer for it, and I was intrigued, and I went in hoping it would be good, because the last one that came out, the one with Marky Mark, it was okay, but it wasn't fantastic. This movie was absolutely epic. The CGI performance by, or stop motion capture performance by Andy Serkis, I think that's his name, who also did Gollum, and then he also did King Kong, and those Peter Jackson movies. He was just fantastic as Caesar, and I would highly recommend this movie for everybody. The story, the emotion, there was just so many great moments in this movie. I don't want to say them so if anybody didn't see this movie, but you should definitely check this movie out. This is the way this movie unfolded, and they didn't do apes, men in costumes like like the past movies in ape makeup. I think they did mostly it was CGI apes and stuff, and just absolutely fantastic movie. And the story, and James Franco was in it. He was a human in it, and this is a fantastic movie. I can't say much more about it without giving things away. But Rise of the Planet of the Apes is just a fantastic movie. Well written, well acted, well directed, and they're gonna make a sequel to this. Because this movie has to get a sequel made to it. It's just fantastic. And like I said, Andy Serkis deserves an Academy Award for, I don't know how you, they probably won't give him for Best Actor, but just, I don't, for Best, I don't know, maybe you have to make up a category to give him for his performance as Caesar, which is absolutely epic and fantastic, and definitely deserves to be nominated. Okay, so those are my picks for movie, my top movies of 2011. And I'm sorry, Andrew, I kind of went on long here, but I just wanted to get everything in. Okay, so that's it, and this is Trey Passer. Let me know what you think, what your favorite movies are, and if you agree with me or not. And please sub to Andrew Ballina's channel. I'll put a link down below in the description. He's a great guy. Always has great videos, and always great critiques of everything. So please sub to his channel, okay? And please sub to also Anesthesia 8 Slasher and my 80s Slasher. That's, I think, the way you pronounce it. But I'll put the link also down to his channel, and you can see that 8-part look on his vids and see the 8-part documentary. He did like a documentary thing on Sucker Punch, okay, which is fantastic. And this is Trey Passer saying so long, and take care.